Hey everyone, Selwyn here for WynnStrength. On today's Mindset Monday video, I wanted to talk about the Pareto principle and how that can help you become a better planner regarding your lifting and training. So what is the Pareto principle? In essence, it's an old economic concept where on average, 80% of a nation's wealth seems to kind of accumulate in 20% of the population. So looking at that in other areas, where 20% of like sales calls lead to about 80% of sales. So there's this kind of notion, and it seems to manifest itself in a lot of places where a small amount of inputs lead to a huge majority of our outputs. And when you flip that around, we're talking about 80% of something can lead to a 20% output. So like maybe there's 80% of the customers aren't really performing that well, so you're only going to get 20% out of your total sales are going to be generated from 80% of your time. So what that means is you kind of want to look at where that 80% of your effort is going, because if we can theoretically cull out that 80% and really focus on that 20%, we've in effect become really efficient at what we're trying to achieve. Now, how does this relate to lifting? I try and look at it as a way of trying to get our big wins really easily. So there's a lot of things that a lot of actions we can take that will lead to big results or outputs. Something like if we eat more vegetables, that's going to have a huge impact downstream. If we choose to just lift weights in general, that's going to lead to a big impact downstream. Increasing our cardiovascular exercise is going to lead to big outputs downstream. And while the decision to do these is pretty small, should I lift weights? Yes, done. It's going to lead to big results down the line. Whereas there are other things that we kind of tend to get lost in. Should I do a push-pull split? Should I do upper body, lower body split? All these little kind of minutiae details can take up a lot of our thinking when we kind of let it kind of run its course. I'm guilty of that, kind of this planning and preparing and looking at all these different things that we can do. And whilst yes, they do have their place, and yes, we do need to learn these things, spending 80% of your time for maybe 20% of the results isn't the most efficient way to look at training. Just getting in and lifting 3 times a week, no matter what you do, is going to have a huge result for you and a huge payback or pay output for you for what you've set out to achieve. And hopefully that just helps you reframe what you're trying to think about. Should I do 3 sets or 4 sets? Do whichever one you want and whichever one you're enjoying, and you can experiment between the two of them, and whichever one you start seeing better results out of, then you do that one. So it's kind of this trial and error. You kind of want to have, the basic direction of where you're going, which is going to be that 20% of effort. And then we're going to just shoot out there, and then over time we can course correct that other 80%, but we definitely want to be running towards a goal while we're kind of course correcting along the way. So another place that this can manifest is in the diet as well. Which diet should I go on? How should I eat? How many times a week how many times a day should I be eating? Should I do this or that? There's a lot of different options when it comes to diets and how we can achieve different goals. But then at the end of the day, we kind of all know the basic principles of weight loss or weight gain or homeostasis within the body. Eat less, move more. Eat more, move less. It's the most basic principle of it, but again, we need to kind of get the finer details along the way. So if we know, hey, maybe I shouldn't eat as much food, hey, just cut back on a couple of snacks during the day, maybe trim down your portion sizes. And then once we've done that, while we're doing that, we can, plan more along the way. But we don't want to get lost in not doing anything for the sake of trying to find that perfect plan. And when we kind of document our journey, keep a log of our actions and our outputs, see how we're progressing on our goals and where we're going, we can find different places where we can cut out a lot of that wasted energy, wasted effort, wasted mental space. In order to, yes, it's fun, but we have other aspects of our life that we kind of want to dedicate that mental space and time and effort towards. So hopefully that leads to, we want to be more efficient in the gym so that we can be more effective in the rest of our lives. Hopefully that's kind of where this kind of video is coming from, where it's like if we can spend less time on the meaningless stuff in the gym, it gives us more time to focus on the more meaningful stuff outside of the gym while still being super efficient and super productive during our training. Hopefully that helps you with your lifting and strategizing around your planning. This has been Sam from WynnStrength, and remember, better life through strength.